Real YouTubers talk about Kadabra. Today we are talking about a magician associated with Kadabra. Listen, I don't make the rules, okay? Don't. Wait, am I lagging? Test. Am I lagging? Why am I lagging? No, I'm not lagging. Am I lagging? My eyes just faster than... Can I perceive things faster than they happen? Anyway, whatever. Hello. So today we're talking about Kadabra. Some of you may be aware, but basically what happened is... Uri Geller, a magician famous in the 70s, tweeted this. I am truly sorry for what I did 20 years ago. Kids and grown-ups, I am releasing the ban. It's now all up to Nintendo, #Nintendo, to bring my #Kadabra, #Pokemon card back. It will probably be one of the rarest cards now. Much energy and love to all. UriGellerMuseum.com. What does this mean? For those of you who don't know, 20 years ago, Uri Geller sued Nintendo. Why did Uri Geller sue Nintendo, and who is Uri Geller? Uri Geller was one of the most famous psychics/magicians in the 70s, and was known for kind of his trademark, which was bending metal spoons with his psychic powers, aka his mind. Very, very popular in the 70s, and apparently Abracadabra and Alakazam are all, based on famous magicians, at least in their influence. Now, okay, bending spoons isn't something unique to this guy. I'm sure other people have done it as well. So, what are the other reasons for this? Well, Younger is clearly I don't mean not clearly, but it's very similar. Uri Geller, Younger, I don't know exactly how to pronounce Kadabra's Japanese name, is similar, and then also the kanji is similar as well. I believe Nintendo also confirmed that this was the case, that Uri Geller was an influence for Kadabra. Those of us who've been in the series for a while know that this isn't the craziest thing. I know that most people believe it. I don't know if this is ever confirmed, but most people believe that Hitmonchan is based on Jackie Chan and Hitmonlee is based on Bruce Lee, things like that. So it's not the craziest idea that a Pokemon can be based on somebody else. Now, here's where things get interesting. The article that Uri tweets out here is this article here. Uri Geller gives Nintendo permission to print Kadabra on Pokemon cards. Again, 20-year disappearing act, etc., etc. They say that it's due to a change of heart. He says he's received a lot of emails on the subject. You see here a Younger name is very close to Uri Geller, and his trademark spoon calls to mind Geller's famous spoon bending. Talks about here that the Game Freak designed a Pokemon based on him without asking or even notifying him. So he sues Nintendo and asks that Kadabra no longer be put on Pokemon cards. Now, this isn't the full story, which we'll get into, but basically because of this lawsuit, there's no Kadabra cards. You might have seen earlier, these are the list of Kadabra cards, and I'm pretty sure every other Pokemon, especially from the original 151, has to have more cards than this. And you can see that these are all, the last one was from Gym Challenge, which is, I don't even know, when did this even come out, right? 2000. So there hasn't, again, the lawsuit was in 2000. There hasn't been a Kadabra card since 2000. Now, what does this mean for the TCG? I'm not a TCG expert. I played for many years. But effectively, it makes it so that Alakazam is pretty much never going to be viable, is my understanding. You can't, unless there's, an Alakazam V or whatever it is now, where, you can have a basic form of an evolved Pokemon. But pretty much, it basically hurts Alakazam. But the other thing is that, if your favorite Pokemon's Kadabra, if your favorite Pokemon's Alakazam, you're not really in great shape here. Finishing up the email, he basically says that it's because he got so much fan response that he wants to lift the ban, right? But there's a little bit more to the story as well. So I found this article from 2000, right? Thursday, 2nd November 2000. A lot of similar material here, but there's an interesting part that is left out of the article that Geller mentions. Here's the quote. Nintendo turned me into an evil occult Pokemon character. Nintendo stole my identity by using my name and my signature image. He claims that in addition to Nintendo's alleged use of Geller's identity, name, and its signature image of a bent spoon, there is also a star on the Pokemon Geller character's forehead and lightning bolts in his chest. The legal action claims this is a reference to the Nazi Secret Service during World War II. This is quite the claim. We can look at Kadabra here. Actually, wait, there's probably better here. You can see that Kadabra does indeed have a star and 3 little lines. I don't know if I'd call them lightning, but yeah, maybe lightning symbols on its midsection. But I don't know. Nintendo has officially said that the inspiration is not Nazi Germany, and if anyone is familiar with Pokemon and how they operate, no one can say for sure, right? I don't know for sure whether or not Kadabra is based on Nazi imagery, but I would personally be shocked. It's so far out of the realm of how Pokemon has operated, how Pokemon has ever operated, right? And why Kadabra out of all things, right? Like, I don't know, like, we can't say for sure. Personally, I would be absolutely downright shocked. It's just not the way that Nintendo operates. It's not, like, it's not something Nintendo, I think, would ever do intentionally. And I think the claim is really far-fetched. Now, to add to this, I'm truly sorry for what I did 20 years ago. Like, what are you sorry for specifically? I mean, sure, it might be the lawsuit, but, like I mentioned, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan probably could have also made this lawsuit, but they didn't, right? So is it is what pushed the lawsuit over the edge that you claimed it used, Nazi imagery, or is it, is it just the lawsuit in general? I don't know. Like, I can't say for sure. Only I guess Uri really knows what specifically he's sorry for, if it's a lawsuit or if it's this pretty, I don't know, strong claim in my opinion. Like, I don't know. You guys can make your own decisions, but I would be it would genuinely cause me enormous amounts of shock, and if Nintendo intentionally created an anti-Semitic character via Kadabra, a middle evolution, I don't know. To me, it seems a little far-fetched, no pun intended. So, yeah. And then the big, begs the question, why do it now, right? It's literally 20 years ago. Why release the ban now? Well, I read through a bit of these comments. People are torn on why specifically it's happening now. I can tell you my opinion, which is that I think that if I had to guess, this is probably a publicity thing, right? Which isn't the worst idea, right? I knew that Kadabra, the card, was banned. Someone who grew up with Pokemon and is very familiar with Pokemon and some of the lore. I knew that Kadabra was banned, and I think most of us who've been around for a while are aware that there was a magician who sued Nintendo, because of that, Kadabra couldn't be printed. But I couldn't have told you the magician's name, for example. TCG is picking up a lot right now, card pack openings, etc. And so maybe it seemed like a good time to kind of cash in, right? Like, this is a magician who was famous in the 70s, but hasn't really, I didn't grow up hearing this person's name. I don't know about the rest of you guys. Maybe it was a me thing, but, yeah. And then there's also the fact that they linked to their website in the tweet itself. Like, I haven't clicked on this. I don't know what this link leads. I'm not going to do it now that I'm recording, but it seems a little opportunistic. That's all. And I know there's people in the comments who agree with me. There's people who are really happy about this as well. Thank you, sir. This is fantastic. Props both for moving past this. I guess the other one is Nintendo. Yeah. I don't know. Like, people are definitely of differing minds here, but I don't think it's inherently wrong if this is like an opportunistic. I saw this one. If you'd really be sorry, you wouldn't plug your own site. This is like the Netflix adaptation of Apologies, Man, Get Out. There's nothing. I don't know. Like I don't think it's inherently wrong, to try and, I don't know, drop your lawsuit, which is, I don't know. In my opinion, I'm not a legal analyst. This is just my opinion. In my opinion, kind of based on shady claims in the first place. Okay. It depends on how much of the lawsuit is based on the claim of Nazi imagery versus how much of it is based on, just taking the name and likeness. Because I think you have a case for name and likeness if it really bothers you that much, but the evil and occult Pokemon character, I think, is a little bit, I think that's a reach, to say the least. I don't know. Yeah, so I personally think this is pretty opportunistic. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Like, I'm sure that there are people out there who are really happy with this news, whether you're a fan of Uri Geller, or whether you're a fan of Kadabra and Alakazam and the TCG. Like, this does more good. Should you have had the lawsuit in the first place? I don't know. It was also 20 years ago. Like, I was just a little babby, Like, I don't really know. Like, maybe that was also earlier in Pokemon's lifespan, right? Like, I feel like nowadays people have a pretty good idea of what Pokemon is, what it represents. Like, if a Gen 8 Pokemon came out and had, influence on somebody famous, I would be really shocked to see a lawsuit. Especially because if you were to do something like that nowadays, it'd be a lot of bad press, I think. And that's not worth it to most celebrities, is my inclination. But again, I'm not an expert in this kind of thing. But, maybe back 20 years ago, Pokemon still kind of not, it was before, it was super popular even from its inception, I think, but I don't think it was as well understood kind of maybe what the brand was or whatever. So I don't know. Like, I think it's funny that they waited 20 years to drop the lawsuit or like to let the card be played again. But again, I think this decision probably does more good than harm. Like, I don't think anyone's mad that like Kadabra can be printed again. You might be mad that this happened in the first place, but you know, you can't change what you did in the past. You can make it right. I don't know how much of this is motivated by like good faith. Like, yes, like I really am sorry for what I did. I mean, they say they are, so maybe they are. I don't know, but right, how much of it is motivated by irregularmuseum.com? But regardless, you know, Kadabra can be printed again. If you really love Kadabra, if you really love Alakazam, that's cool. I mean, also, like, they mentioned it in the tweet itself, like, it will probably be one of the rarest cards. Now, like, I bet there's people who want to collect every Kadabra card because, like, there's not that many of them, right? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if I can count correctly. 7 cards, which is not that many, right? Like, you know, maybe you can say I've got every Kadabra card ever made, which is, you know, I bet these old Kadabra cards are pretty rare, but you could go for it, I guess. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Just like kind of a weird thing to happen mid 2020 or like late 2020. Definitely not what I was expecting, personally. But yeah, that's kind of all I have to say. Obviously, I don't cover news like this too often, so keep in mind I am not a journalist. I am just a little Pokemon YouTubeist. So you know, if you really want great hard-hitting journalism, there's actually been a lot of articles written about this, so you can read more if you're interested. But yeah, this is just my opinion. I think it's kind of lighthearted. Like I don't think it's like I'm not really up in arms about this. Even if this is just an opportunistic grab for some hype capitalization on the recent TCG wave, that's fine, right? Like you can, you know, like it's still overall I think a fine thing. So that's my opinion. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think this is like a genuine apology or if it's more of an opportunistic capitalization. I think it's fine either way, but. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more Wolf Broadcast Station, WBS, if you want to see more WBS, let me know. Goodbye.